transformation. Digital transformation take the journey from A to Z. As we say, that digital transformation it involves all the technologies, all the parties. So we were talking, instead of talking to the human, to human hands, then we can talk about technologies and how the technology play a good role in this one. I don't know if am I allowed to share my presentation now. I can start because unfortunately, sorry if I will be in a hurry to talk in the presentation because I'm giving only 20 minutes and I don't want to exceed these 20 minutes because also I am in a hurry.
So please go ahead and share your screen.
Thank you.
We have the time to see your presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I think it's clear now in front of you.
Yes, we can see your presentation. Hear you.
Yeah, we are here about that Industry 4.0. Of course, Industry 4.0, it's a prolongation of the previous Industry 1.0, 2, 3, and today we are on 4.0. The presentation is going to be about the technology, the 4IR technologies, in how it's helped in transforming the services, automate the services, the processes from one stage to another stage, and this is in the journey of the digital transformation. So let us take this journey. Okay, so 4IR, it's known, it's a digital revolution. Why it's a digital revolution? We will see it's because it's utilizing, it's adopting all the technologies that the technology that they empower for this one is not the human. It's not the brain now, it's the machine learning. Instead of the human brain, this is a machine learning. So the definition, of course, each scholars define the 4IR as per the environment they are using it. So there are lots of definitions related to this one. The history, as I said, that the current one is a prolongation of the previous one. So the first one, it's for the water and steam revolution. Why we call it a revolution? Because a revolution, it came and really changed the lifestyle of the human in that era. The first one is steam and water. Yes, people they were moving everything by their hand, by their backs, and they are spending lots of efforts in this one. When it coming this one, if someone read about that, the train, the steam of the train that was powered by steam or the water, it helped the people to move things from one point to another point to their destiny. Second one, it came with electricity. It's called electricity revolution because really it took people from really, I can say not a dark, but one era to really brightness era. The ICT revolution started with the third industrial revolution. It's starting with the IT, and if you remember, if anyone have seen the old hard disk, the size of the old hard disk, how it was, with maybe less than 10 MB, the size of it as big as a room. But now with your finger, you can a terabyte of size. And the fourth one, it came with the latest technologies. Of course, this one, what is the latest technology? It's the digitalization. If you see that, I can say that digital integration of value chain. So we have different areas that we would like to integrate. So this one use this technology, the other one is use this technology, the third one, and all these interconnect together by the sensors. And these sensors, all the data, they are grabbing the data, they are collecting some data. Where this data is stored in a big data, and this big data is stored in or found or exists in a cloud. Some place is called cloud computing. That's the previous discussion with Mr. Amjad. And digitalization of product and service offering, and the digitalization of the digital business models and customer access. Different technologies is used in this fourth industrial revolution. Is not the only displayed one in this screen, and we'll see more and more. For this one is taking the physical, as we said, that for digital transformation, we are studying the current situation and see what is the expecting situation and how we can digitalize, automated the process between this state to other state. And this is called between physical world, virtual world, and the digital world. To adopt this one, what we need, what we require first to build the strategy. We have the right strategy, governance, and legalization for that one. and then creating the opportunity for this one. So if I don't have opportunity, there is no exposure for any opportunity to utilize or to harness or to embrace these technologies in our environment. So there is no point to take this technology. When we create this opportunity and then also create a pilot platform to run this, to test it, to see how it's work, really, it will give the output as I'm expecting or not. After that, okay, educate people, not to educate. Yeah, to be a professional in that train and train the skills, train the human how they are going to maintain, they operate for these technologies, and at the end adopt the technology itself. This one, how to see from physical world to the world to the digital world. From physical, we have some physical things. Yes. Now, for example, if I want to drink a cup of water, I will take my cup, go physically to the fridge, put the water, soak the water, and then drink it. So tomorrow, if I want, no, I can put an order from my smartphone, and then the drone, not the drone, sorry, the robotic will go, bring the water to me, and then put it in front of me. So this is how to get from the physical world to the digital world. So simulation, the current technologies is a simulation what we are, simulation of what we are, or the reflection of what we are. We have our brain, but they have their machine learning. Why we call it for IR4? The factor, the metric factor, the speed and the accuracy and impact on other system. What do you mean? So by one click, within a second, less than 3 seconds, suppose everything to be done. That we will see later on. Collect the information from the sensor, process this information or the data, process the data, not the information, but process this data and filter it, filtering it, and then take the action. So not exceed, supposed not to exceed 3 minutes and less. Future trend of the 4IR, this one, and of course, most of this one, it exists and happening. Assume that, for example, now 10% of people will be wearing clothes connected to the internet. I will give you another example. If you are wearing a watch, now we have a watch, a digital watch is connected to the internet. If this watch is connected to the person doctor, the physicians, so it will measure the blood sugar, BP, blood pressure, whatever. So if there is any misbalancing of this reading, it will send directly to the doctor. The doctor will read this one and also send the reply. So the reply, either it will come in the smartphone, it will notify the patient or the person himself, either writing prescription, going to the pharmacy, or doing some action, or required to visit the doctor. This is already exists, but this is how the life will be. And this is part of the smart environment, smart eco-life. The opportunities, there is lots of opportunity to adopt these technologies and to harness it in our daily life. So it's not only limited to these 6: optimization, real-time data, advanced maintenance, real-time monitoring, of course, IoT-enabled quality, superior sustainability, earn the trust and loyalty, the model. After some introduction, this I will say it's only introduction about 4IR. Let us go to the 3 main technologies that we needed in 4IR technologies. We heard about drones, we hear about robotics, we hear about VR, AR, we hear about nanotechnologies, we hear about 3D printing, we have about lots of technologies that we have. So, but what are the 3 main technologies behind these things? We have the first thing, the big data, the data itself. The data is the fuel of this revolution. Without data, we cannot run and operate these technologies. This one thing. Second thing, if we have a data, then we can implement artificial intelligence. We can enhance this data, the operation of this data, by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is, I can see, is the catalyst for generating and speeding up the data for producing the output. And then we have, after we have a data and we have artificial intelligence, then what we require? We require IoT, Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is connected between these sensors, between these technologies, and give the output, the required output, either reports, either action by another technologies, either whatever physical or some virtual. So at the end, there is some action to be done. So the artificial intelligence, what the type of artificial intelligence? Expert systems. It's giving, like, for example, chess. How many of you has already played with the PC for the playing chess with the PC? From my practice, once I spent more than 7 hours playing chess with the PC, and I could beat the PC only one time. So this is that. Now you say about what other children, our child, that they playing in their smartphones. So lots of games, and we have neural networks, genetic algorithm, intelligent agents, and virtual reality. Classification of AI, we have artificial neural intelligence. What exactly? It's a machine intelligence that equals or exceed human intelligence or efficiency at a specific task. Like, for example, chess. It's playing one task. It's playing with the other user. So the many things like a human, what's playing human, is called artificial AGI, artificial general intelligence. The first one, neuro intelligence. The second one is general intelligence, and the third one, artificial super intelligence. It's more than what a human can. Trends of AI applications, as I said before, is changing the work process based on AI to what? To business productivity. So I have this one transferring from the current to the, by using this AI to what is expected. So process automation, cognitive insight, cognitive engagement, and then transfer to source of business value. Why all this one? What's the impact? Reducing cost, create new revenue, enhance customer experience. And this is how it will impact the economy itself. Because now for one service, I have to employ how many person, employ how many vehicles, employ whatever, it costs more. But with these technologies only, I can do one thing. Now, yesterday I read a study from McKinsey. McKinsey, also one of the research companies. They said, will the factories will get off of the human power? And they read because within coming days, the robotics will replace the humans in the factories. Because yes, now I am employing, for example, 10 people. So I am paying them how much? I can buy a robotic and let him play those roles in the factory itself. But of course, those resources can enhance and develop their skills to be aligned with the current technologies. Again, the trends. So what are the trends? Mostly AI, of course, artificial neural intelligence based and still immediate stage of AGI, general intelligence utilization. And most companies use AI based in big data to get more efficiency, effectiveness, and revenue. Also, AI, artificial neural intelligence application fields, are divided into product, application, and service based on voice recognition. And they are expanding to autonomous vehicles. And also AI startups are acquisition target not only for big technology companies, but also for traditional insurance, retail, and health incumbents. This is the application of AI in different sector of our life. And then coming to big data, why we call it big data? It's a symbol. It's like any database, any warehouse. But because of big data, it's coming from different warehouses. We have database on a warehouse. We have a warehouse, and maybe our current databases cannot accommodate all this coming data. So that's why we know about bit, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte. But now we are reaching to yottabyte. Why? We'll see the facts of the data. See, per a minute, we can dig in information. See how many transactions, how many events per a minute in the internet. You will see if this really your database can accommodate all this huge data is coming to you or coming to that database. Of course not. That's why we call it a big data. How many sensors in these technologies we have? We have for drones, we have for robotics, we have from this one itself, smartphone, everything from this social media, and in social media itself, how many likes, how many reshare, how many retweet, how many uploaded, how many download, all this. Even not only, we said, okay, I am downloading information, I'm not uploading information. Why it's stored? Okay, why it's stored? So if today I am downloading any document, Okay, it will store in the database in this time, in this date, from this IP address, from this location, this account number, download this document. So this is itself, it's what? It's a data. So it's help even for the company to analyze and predict for the future. The source, this is the source of the data. So imagine wherever you have, for example, enterprises or organization database, your clicks, your movement in the internet, even when you are searching, when you are going to Google, in each transaction, it is saved in the data. So how we consider it's a big data? It's based on volume, high volume, velocity. It should be very fast, a variety. It's not data from education, it's not data from the health, it's not a personal geographical data. No, variety of data. Veracity must be trust data, and value. Yes, why value? We will see, because we see the current data is the fuel of the future, not the oil. How it's processed? Yeah, we'll see this is structure, this is hierarchy, but I can summarize it in four things. Collect the information, the data, process, categorize the data, process the data, and take action. So I have a data or the big data. With any technology, it will create what? An innovative idea. So with this data, I can utilize, I can embrace artificial intelligence, drones, whatever. So any technology with this data, it can give an innovative idea. Without data, there is nothing is useless. See the value of the data. 21 is 64, not dollar, $64 billion. It's expected in 25 to be $90 billion. This one, the same. See, it's the resources from where, and at the end, the big data, the fuel to whom? The fuel for the decision maker. Who is the decision maker? Either a human or maybe a machine. And also, it can be used to be an open data to others. People are selling the data itself. They are selling it. Okay, after the big data, artificial intelligence, and the big data is the fuel for all the technologies. Artificial intelligence, I can say, the empower for these technologies. So it will move it faster and it back the other system. We are coming to the IoT, Internet of Things. 𝐂𝐦𝐻𝐿 is the father of IoT. He says, turning the world into micro decision. So in your table, you can control your home, you can control your city, you can control your decision, your employee, whatever you want, you can do it. So this one, you see at the top, collect, process, analyze, and act from the beginning. Sample data gathering from where? From all this one, which is IoT, CCTV, cars, smart, whatever, all what is expected in your life, the database you have, that it is the source for the others. And then transmission. So of course, transmit through Wi-Fi, through the data, normal data, or through whatever, to where? To the cloud computing. Cloud computing, where this database is stored, and the analytical, it will be done there. To where? To give for the decision makers, either a machine or whatever, to take any example. Of course, we have to produce a value from this data. We called it data. It's not called an information. So if we call it an information, then mean from the beginning it's useful. So no need for all these technologies. But the sensors are collecting data, is not an information. So the application of IoT, people, smart homes, retails, offices, factories, cars, cities, traffic, and we have lots of examples regarding this one. And the same here one. In Oman, how it's impacted all these technologies and empowered in some places. We have, for example, Ministry of Awqaf. It's implemented IoT to monitoring messages, mosques and utilities. This is IoT. It will check if there is no movement inside the masjid or inside the building. It will turn off all the electricity. SQU initiating IoT lab. BIA, which is the company for collecting the rubbish, and this one rubbish bin waste management. So for wasting the management, and they already fired this project in some area. Ooredoo chatbot, Ministry of Education, smart transportation, that it will inspect if there is any movement, also any object inside the vehicle or inside the bus before they are switching it. Madain, waste management, parking, weather. Muscat municipality, they are implementing. They have project for smart cities. What else? Ministry of Health. You know about the Tarassud application. That Tarassud application for the COVID. They use it for the COVID-19. They will register once they do PCR, all the information to be this application. People who are coming or suspected for infected by this COVID, they are wearing a bracelet, and then it will send for if they are coming close to any by Bluetooth to any close uninfected person. MOTCIT, they implemented artificial intelligence, text to speech and chatbot. DM for water, smart meter reading. Oman also chatbot. In logistics, they are for sea chips. They are controlling sea chips. They are collecting all the data from this and giving a decision either what is required for the maintenance and the oil and gas. Also on oil and gas, now they have plenty of practices utilizing these technologies. In transportation, again, now the government is monitoring all the vehicles related to the government, as I mentioned it in my session, that when discussing about the smart cities. Benefit, of course, for any technology, there is a benefit and there is a challenges. Lots of benefits we can use. Of course, provide risk and relief part in time using smart supply chain. Remember, last time Oman has affected by the cyclone, Shaheen cyclone. If we really implemented, embrace all these technologies in that time, of course, we can use it for risk and relief. Use robotic and drones for moving around in the isolated area. Use virtual reality for training and awareness purposes. Promote a flexible working environment. Lots of benefits they can by utilizing lots of benefits we can gain from adopting these technologies in our daily work or in our government or in our organization. The same here still is going for the benefits, and for the difficulties, of course, gap in skills. It's a global difficulties, and you can find it in the search, data sensitivity, interoperability, security, handling data growth, and of course, data dilute, false information, regulation and legals, connectivity, cost, ownership, and readiness. I think this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for giving me your time. I know that I was speeding in my talking because for the time I have only, and it's good only. I exceeded by 3 minutes only, I see myself.
No problem, Dr. Salim. Thank you so much for giving us such a comprehensive overview of how new technologies can impact businesses, governments, customers. Very, very, holistic and great data points for everyone to take away. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So that brings us to the close.
There is one question. I think it's targeted to me. That what is the thought on the security breaches with the corporate? If it's lack of security, this is one of the challenges that's in front of you. This is one of the challenges everywhere. That for the connectivity and security.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Salim, for answering the question as well. Of course, new technologies bring with them new challenges, and everybody has to build a system by learning on how to overcome these challenges. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us all your insights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Adisha. Thank you very much. Thank you all for listening, and wishing to meet you and to be in the next time.